There we go. Welcome everybody to A Light in the Dark. This is a Chinese visual novel that has been translated to English, and I'm going into it very blind. I don't know much, if anything. I know that we are kidnapped against our will, and we're stuck to this place, and we have no idea what is going on. Oh, and supposedly we are a rich young boy. Very relatable. I am a boy. Hi, Evonano. Okay, that's cool. Lurk away. Thank you so much. Thank you for the good lucks. And good luck for your art test. I hope you have a good time, a fun time over here. Thank you for joining. And without further ado, let's dive right into this. I play the game a little bit just to test it. But anyways. This world is not fair. There was a saying, the world is one big, intricate machine, with the people as its cogs and the law as its screws. The countless pieces connect with each other in order to operate. Through continuous refining on top of repeated collapse and reconstruction, modern society is eventually formed. The more complicated a machine appears to be, the more delicate it really is. One loose screw would stop the whole thing. One failed detail would lead to collapse. Therefore, we must be ever vigilant and watchful and remove every single problematic piece. Mommy needs to head out and take care of something, so have dinner without me. You can eat whatever you'd like. If Daddy calls, just tell him I'm in class, okay? The laughter of an unknown man, hurried footsteps, and the sound of an engine starting. It was at that moment I heard the sound of dissonance from the machine, and my mom banging another dude who is not my dad. Very traumatic stuff. It was very cold. I felt a freezing chill as I gained consciousness. It wasn't so much that I felt cold when I woke up, but that an icy draft had caused me to wake up. As I opened my eyes, they were met by darkness. All I could make out was that I was in some sort of small room. This place was unknown to me. It wasn't my room, nor was it a hotel room. My head hurt, as if I had a hangover. I tried to stand up in order to find some sort of light switch, but all I felt from my legs was numbness. The smell of cigarettes and mold is in the air, and it was nauseating. As I fought to regain my bearings, I realized that something was not quite right. What happened to me? A sense of unease overcame me. I tried to calm down and organize my thoughts. I recall that I was on my way home from cram school. Oh, hello, Ahmed. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. We're just in the middle of a game. Welcome to the stream. We are playing a Light in the Darkness, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun ride. Finally up, rich boy. Who are... An unfamiliar voice rang in my ears, right when I opened my mouth to ask. Ah! I have a stamina bar. Out of nowhere, a foot swiftly sunk itself into my stomach. Ouch! Launching me towards the wall. I felt my stomach turn and I almost vomited. However, all that came out was a dry fit of coughing. I couldn't stop spasming on the ground. All that was on my mind was the intense pain, yet I was also too scared to make any sound. Who is she? My body's not responding. What is she doing? What happened? I have to escape. My body hurts if this goes on. Countless questions went through my mind, but before I could speak, I heard that cold voice again. Who gave you the permission to talk? There was no change in her expression as she watched me struggle. There was nothing but a look of pure animosity in her eyes. Hey Abby, we are playing A Light in the Darkness. It is a visual novel game. We are a rich boy that is currently in a predicament, and we just got kicked in the gut, and we almost vomited, but instead we just coughed out loud, and we are very intimidated by this woman. Yes, very spoopy, very spoopy. You better keep your mouth shut. I do not have the patience nor intention to play nice with you. You got that? I struggled to stand up, then came to a shocking realization that my limbs were numb. They were tightly tied by a rope. I struggled against it, but the rope was far tighter than I imagined. Rich boy, do you understand the words coming from my mouth? Or do you only respond after a good beating? Bitch. Another kick made me almost scream and curse at her. However, knowing now was not the time to confront her, I grit my teeth to force myself to stay calm. Anything I said at the moment could be fatal. I had to grasp the situation first. Suddenly, she got closer. Not realizing her intention, my body instinctively tried to move away from her touch. Scared? Noticing my slight reaction, she gave a snort of contempt. The last shred of defiance disappeared as soon as the blade touched my body. There was no chance of victory, no matter how much I resisted. I waited for her next move. All I could hear in the quiet room was our shallow breathing. Yeah, that is some crunchy rope that I'm being tied up with. And the sound... these sound effects are very intense. That sounded like it was cutting through leather rather than skin. Anyways, the tip of the blade moved across my skin, making a small cut. My tensed up nerves were extra sensitive, detecting the exact temperature of the air, the crudeness and the loudness of the crunchy rope, and the sharpness of the blade. There was a certain feeling of warmth from the blood that flowed out of the wound down my arm. Nevertheless, my mind was extremely clear. Kidnapping, human trafficking, organ trade. A few possibilities came to mind, but there was no way to determine which. Since we have to hang out a little before I get the ransom, let me make a few things clear. Don't try to run or talk without permission. I don't mind breaking a few bones. Humans can handle a few just fine after all. You hear me? I nodded quietly. I couldn't digest all the information at once, but one key word stood out. Ransom. I've been kidnapped. Huh? The blade left my skin and I swore I heard a little sigh escape her. There was a sound of light footsteps moving towards the wall. Before I could even feel confused, a glaring light broke through the darkness of the room. Let there be light. Oh, the music changed. Not able to adjust to the sudden brightness, it took me quite a while to finally open my eyes. What came into view was totally foreign to me. The room was roughly 300 square feet in size. That is fucking tiny. The wall that was meant for painting was now mottled. Its original color no longer visible. Time had had its way with the room, causing everything to become decayed. Be it the wooden chair, desk, or bed, the resulting smell of mold in the air was reminiscent of ruins you'd find in a movie. Did you know if you inhale too much mold and spores for way too long, even in small doses over time, it highly disintegrates your lungs and your breathing capacity. It's awful. Please clean stuff around and prevent mold from happening, because I made a huge mistake with I have a trash can underneath my sink. Let's not talk any more about it. I'm sure you know where that is going. But yeah, keep your homes mold free, guys, for the sake of your breathing. Let's carry on. Ah! She's cute. And she's feisty. The owner of this place stood near the window with a taunting smirk on her hips. Her lips. With the shake of her hips. Okay, no. Never lived in a place like this, did you, rich boy? The words were clearly provocative. Bearing the burning pain, I tried to observe her through the lamplight. She was a young-looking woman. She wore a dark overcoat and a scarf. Her shoulder-length hair casually scattered behind her back, with bangs almost covering her eyes. Surprisingly, she wore no face mask or helmet, nor made any attempt to avoid my staring. She didn't seem to mind her face being seen. Man, I mean, if I had a face like her, I wouldn't mind either. Look away. Or not. Look forward. Hi Ahmed. Okay, alright, that's cool. I'm not the best person to ask about Indian movies in the first place, so I can't really suggest any. However, maybe another time when I'm not playing a game and maybe during a free chatting session, we can talk more about that. But yeah, cool. Yeah, she does look like a dashing pirate. That is actually a good descriptor of her, Abby. She didn't have the stereotypical look of a criminal. Despite a hint of unease on her meager face, there wasn't an ounce of guilt within those dark brown pupils of hers that stared straight at me. That is not dark brown, that is light brown at best. You want to see dark brown? You look into my eyes. Thank you, Ahmed. I shall enjoy the game. I hope you enjoy too. You know what? I hate people like you. She was talking to herself, ignoring how pale my face was and making no attempt to elaborate. This was not a conversation, but a simple declaration. Who was she? Where was I? What did she want? Why did she do such a thing? My guy, you're a rich boy. She needs ransom. It's for money. That should be obvious. Countless questions circled around my brain, but not a single sound came out of my mouth when I opened it. What did eventually come out was something totally unrelated. Why me? The unfamiliar, dry voice sounded like some rough sandpaper. Why? The girl mumbled my question next to the window. The light reflected off the girl's face. Orange spots of light scattered across her messy hair, dancing like fire. She hung her head in contemplation. It took her a while to raise her head again with a grin. No particular reason. As though it was only natural. The empty voice held no emotions, but instead a malevolent sense of pleasure. I don't know. That face of hers. It looks like it's more pained than malevolent. I mean, sure, maybe the malevolence is there in her voice, but that expression is that of someone who's seen some shit. Who's gone through some sort of trauma. The world is just unfair. Isn't that your favorite line? Seeing the shock in my eyes, she chuckled. With that mocking statement, the curtain was raised for this kidnapping incident. Kidnapping survived the beginning. Oh, what? Oh. Okay, you can't see it, but I have like wait, maybe I can do this. Ah! No. Yes? Yeah, see that? I've got save, load, and title. Ah, is this my new screen thingamajig? Huh. All right. Oh, okay. It's just giving me a save point. All right. Let's go here. Right. All right. Back. Now, shall we move on to the next stage? Dear listeners? Yes. Let's. I stood in a world of darkness. There was no sky or ground, only endless darkness. A dream. I realized, amidst all the fuzziness, that I was in a dream, yet I couldn't control my thoughts. The intermittent noise was annoying, like a radio with poor signal. Suddenly, the ground began to slowly sink, as if it were quicksand. I tried to move my legs, but realized I couldn't move. My heels, my knees, and then my arms. The darkness gradually devoured my body. I heard that vivid disdain before my vision was overtaken. I hate people like you. Listen, man. I'd rather this woman kidnap me than Slender Man any day. Oh, all right. Okay, so. Oh, cool. Let's figure this out. We have a stamina bar, which is now in the yellow, probably because she kicked me twice in the gut. Here's our situation. What time is it now? I couldn't tell the time. Okay, so we need to find. I guess this is a list of objectives. Like the things in red are our objectives, what we need to find out. So first is the time. I need to escape. Untying the rope was my only option. The only exits were the door and the window. Was there really nowhere else? Okay, so we'll have to look around, I guess. I should try to converse with her. A better relationship could be beneficial. Oh, we're gonna get to know who she is, hopefully. Maybe we meet a friend. Maybe we can make a friend of her. Maybe, I don't know. She could be my girlfriend. Yes, she is very pretty. Maiden. She could be my maiden. And I'd finally have one. A girl with long hair and sharp eyes. She didn't seem to be older than 30. She does not look 30. She does not look 30. At best, she looks early 20s. But that's the thing with anime. The anime style, isn't it? Almost everyone looks like they're either a high schooler or in their freaking early 20s. Her pale skin didn't appear to be healthy. Okay. And she wore a clearly outdated overcoat and scarf. Some would call that vintage, sir. I still didn't know who she was. If only I could get her name, at least. Okay. It's in red. Let's find out what her name is. And why did she pick me as the target? Okay. Alright, let's do this. Anime style. Yeah, exactly. You're either in your 20s or your mid-40s. Yeah, in your mid-40s, that does happen. You know what's an anime that actually makes a good distinction between, like, different ages? Shit, I forgot what it was. This might be a stretch, but I think Code Geass? Cause like, okay, no, forget it. Forget I said that. I don't remember. Shit, there was an anime. I do believe there is an anime where they actually were able to convey age well. Just give you those Itachi. Oh my god, yeah. The sleepless night under eyes. No, listen, Evonano. Yes, Code Geass. I don't know. I'm remembering like the older people over there. You just need to put the lines underneath the eyes, and it's like it's kinda. But okay, fair enough. I don't think Code Geass is a good example of that, but there is an anime out there where the old people. Okay, not old people, but like 30-year-olds look like 30-year-olds. I'm 100% sure of this. Anyways, still half asleep, I opened my eyes. The room before me was still the same unfamiliar one. So it wasn't a dream. Yeah, Noragami actually came to mind as well. I wasn't sure because I haven't finished watching the second season. I know I'm gravely behind, and I'm not ashamed of that. But yes, I think Noragami is one. Yes, age is definitely irrelevant. I mean, have you seen whatchamacallit? What the fuck is it called again? Bakemonogatari. Yeah, have you seen Bakemonogatari? They're not gods, but I mean, somewhat close. But yeah, Gundam. I haven't actually watched Gundam, but I'm gonna take your words for it, Abby. Okay, listen, Evo, I love Noragami, do not get me wrong. I want to finish the second season. I started watching K-dramas and I couldn't stop. Katanagatari. Katanagatari. I have not seen that. See, I actually bought the light novels. I'm on the first light novel and I'm close to the end. Once I finish that, and I also have the second one, I think I'm gonna read all of the light novels and then I want to watch the anime. Because I actually genuinely enjoyed the light novels. There was a part in the first book that really freaking got me and I actually teared up and I was very surprised about that, but you know, that was incentive enough for me to keep going. So yeah, if any of you ever want to pick up a light novel, Japanese light novel translated to English, I do highly recommend the Bakemonogatari series. It's like genuinely such a good time. I see. Anyways, I could talk about this all day long. Death Ray. Another anime I had begun watching and then I stopped. I'm warning you all now. This is it's a pattern. It happens. But I swear I have watched a lot of freaking anime and I've finished it to the end. So it wasn't a dream. A long sigh couldn't relieve the depression in my chest, and my heart sunk to the pit of my chest. I was kidnapped. Oh! Heyo! Rabbi-dee-bee. And there's a calendar. Okay, great. And there's a clock. Fantastic. What was their objective? What should I do? My mind was all blank. There was more confusion than fear. It's been said that in the presence of a threat, you either become petrified, try to flee, or you try to fight. Reflexively, stopping your actions to avoid catching predators' attention was probably the best way to describe how I felt. The crunchy ropes. I tried to pull the rope, but nothing happened. The headache was hard to bear. The pain medication I usually kept on me was in my bag, which was out of reach in my current state. Damn it. My mind did get clearer after sleeping. Everything that happened yesterday still felt like a dream, but the reality of it was right before my eyes. I was stuck in a dingy otaku's home. Morning light brightened up the room. I could see the peeling paint on the wall and the old pieces of furniture. There was nothing but decay, as though it was untouched for a long time. Was it an abandoned, empty house? Or did they actually live here? The kidnapper was nowhere to be found. I couldn't hear anything, and thus couldn't tell how many people were around. Perhaps shouting for help might catch someone's attention, but the kidnapper might also be right outside of the door. Perhaps. Oh shit! Contemplate the situation. No, contemplate the situation. I didn't have time to read that. Let's contemplate the situation. My yelling might not be heard, and I could be in trouble if it caught the kidnapper's attention instead. I could still feel the pain from where I got kicked the day before. I tried to make myself a little more comfortable and relax my back by leaning on the wall. First, my physical condition. My hands were tied up to the point that I had no space to move around, let alone release the rope. Yeah, the heckin' timer. So I know. Oh my god, I'm stressed. I'm gonna be stressed this game. Freaking timers. Ooh, so much anxiety. I have to take a sip of my drink. Hey, you guys want some ASMR? Some drink sipping ASMR? You have no choice. Here it is. Delicious. I'll never do that again. Sorry about that. Yeah, the timer was way more. I know. I'd rather actually no. Screw that. I'm not a QTE sort of person. The only other game that I have on here that has a QTE, I played that game in bitch mode. I just could not. I was like, no, I'm not built for this. The only pressure I can take is deadlines from work. And maybe sometimes when my husband or my mom or my dad are like, hey, we need you to be here at this time. And I'm like, oh, I'm under pressure. Anyways. Oh, Abby, you want some proper... Okay, well, the chat has spoken. I shall give you a proper... Here, wait, let me try this again. I nearly choked. Ah! Okay. Excuse me. Was that better, Avi? Please don't refund. I need foods. Ooh, Asura's Wrath is actually a really cool game. Yeah. So I don't want QuickTime events, Avi. That's the thing. I don't want it. If the story is good enough, I may do the QuickTime events, but Asura's Wrath, I've actually watched a full playthrough of that ages ago, and I still vividly remember the gameplay and the story, because it had such a... Man, that was such a fun game, even as a bystander. Oh my god, my mic. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna play it. I've already watched it, but it's a good time. It's a fun time. Yeah, the art is so gorgeous. Like the thick lines. Are you kidding me? The brush strokes, man. I'd like another game to come out. You know what? Now, actually, forget the game. An animated series or an animated movie in the same vein of Arcane, but with those heavy brush strokes. I think that would be very interesting. And if the stories is executed well, like I have thoughts. Maybe we will save this for a just chatting stream or something in the future. But yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. We're gonna definitely save this topic for a just chatting stream because I wanted to hear more from you. Hello? Oh. Alright. Let's get back to the game. My body overall was fine, but I couldn't really rest in this position. I had to save my energy to escape. So, where to start? Please, for the love of God, do not be another QuickTime event. It is! How did I get to... What time is it? What time is it? I saw a clock. Speaking of the time, it was currently... The clock on the wall was pointed at 5:44 a.m. Cram school ended at 9:30 p.m., so I was probably kidnapped around 10 p.m. Huh. Alright. Sorry guys, this is gonna be a lot of timers. It's gonna be a stressful time. But hey, what's more stressful? A timer or getting kidnapped? I'd argue both. Rena has jump scares. No, I'm not. What are you talking about? I'm not jump scares. I'm soothing voice. I was asleep for maybe 7 hours because I was listening to Rena's ASMR stream. Anyways, enough time to drive from Taipei to Kaohsiung. By the way, okay, so since this is like the original game is in Chinese, this takes place in China. So yeah, there we go. It's gonna reference the geography of China, and our characters have Chinese names, I presume. I didn't know how long I'd been out. It might have been a whole day. How long could the medicine be effective? No longer than a day, right? If the medicine was really that potent, there should also be some strong side effects. Yet my body only felt like it had taken a nap. Before I could think further, I heard footsteps outside. I couldn't help but tense up. Who was that? Before I made up my mind on how to respond, I saw the girl pushing open the door. Oh shit! Okay, I'm sorry. That was really loud. Oh no. I heard that and that peaked. I'm gonna put my volume down a little bit. Okay. Holding the knife and wearing the same overcoat and scarf, she stared at me. I tried to look back calmly, but I could still clearly feel my rapid heartbeat. Finally up, rich boy? I looked at her silently, trying to guess her intention from her words and actions. I was in an unfamiliar situation, and there were too many questions still unanswered. The location, the time, their objectives, any sort of information would help. You're free once your daddy pays up, so stay quiet. Otherwise, I can't guarantee what'll happen to you. After she told that to me, she sat next to the window and lit a cigarette. Alright, so that was the sound of a lighter going off. For a second there, I thought she just slammed that knife into the table. It was easier to see her face in the sunlight. Her neglected long hair was messy, and her long bangs almost blocked her vision. Her pale skin wasn't makeup, more like something she was born with, or the result of poor health. Or maybe drug abuse? Hey. The girl's voice broke my train of thought. She stared coldly at me with the cigarette still in her hand. I'll make a few things clear. When I contact your dad, don't talk, don't move, don't have any funny ideas. This is not a game. I don't have the patience, and I don't mind shutting you up by breaking one or two bones. Digesting every word, I pondered what to say. No. Trying to scare me? Let's be kind of bold. Trying to scare me? Ah! That was not wise of me. I am an idiot. Okay, I deserve that. I have plenty of time, so I dare you to try it again. She spoke to me cruelly and kicked me again, as though in revenge. Hao Shenjiang, age 18, only son of CEO Hua Jiang. Address is Chongsheng Road, Lane 2. If there's anyone who is Chinese or can speak Mandarin or Cantonese in the chat, I apologize if I butcher any pronunciations from here on out. And please correct me in the comments if you can. So Hao Chenjiang, that is who we are. And we're 18 years old. Okay. Yeah, cram school, that makes sense. And we are the son of a CEO. Oh my god. Is Daddy CEO... Oh shit. Is Daddy CEO a Christian Grey sort of guy? Oh, are we the Christian Grey? Maybe we could be the future Christian Grey. That would be interesting. I mean, older woman right here who's no more than 30. She seems to be in the knife play. I mean, Chinese has never said how it's spelled. Yeah, I know. It isn't. But, you know, I'm trying my best. Trying my best based on whatever I know. Alright. Living by himself. Buying a breakfast at 10 a.m. every day. Jogging at the park at 8 p.m. Cram school every Tuesday and Thursday, which ends at 9:30 p.m. Always takes the shortcut at the walkway under the construction. She lazily read my information and from time to time paused to look at me, as though anticipating something. Quite comprehensive. Huh. She grunted after noticing my lack of reaction. Leaking personal information wasn't new, but it was still uncomfortable to hear someone knowing your daily routine like they knew their own garage. See, that sort of thing petrifies me. I never want a predictable daily routine ever since I realized that people could stalk your routine and do some heinous shit with that. Is that the basis for me being very chaotic in my daily routine? Maybe, but I would rather be unpredictable than someone who's got a daily routine where they know, oh, she goes to the grocery store at this day at this time, and she goes jogging at this day at this time, or every day at this time, etc., etc., etc. So that is why I either just stay at my home and I do the things that I need to do from there, or I very, very unpredictably go out and do things and then come back home. It makes for a very messy everyday, a chaotic everyday even, but hey, at least no one can track me. At least I hope. If Kakao didn't want his name said Kakao, he would have yeah. Anyways. If she knew that much about me, did that mean an acquaintance of mine was behind all this? My best attempts to remember still failed. Hard to believe she had any reason to pick me. No one but my parents and the building's security knew my schedule, and none of them could be the leaker. First things first. You don't have to keep my feet tied up, you know. I have no intention of running. Even if you don't believe me, my hands are still tied. Also, you have a knife. I couldn't run away like this even if I wanted to. It's really uncomfortable being tied up like this, and it's just point. I told you before. She interrupted me. She squatted before me and looked me right in the eye. She's gonna kill us. I hate people like you. Having too much money to spend, never tasting any pain, and everything just goes your way. You know nothing, yet still act almighty like some big shot. Uncomfortable? You think I care? No, that doesn't sound right. Uncomfortable? You think I care? Let's make you more uncomfortable, I say. What a messed up personality. I felt her animosity, but didn't want to explain it to her. Too many people found society to be unfair, always blaming their failures on someone else, thinking they were victims of the system. If it was that easy to convince her, she wouldn't have kidnapped someone in the first place. Got nothing left to say now? Noticing my silence, she tried to provoke me. Ah! No! Oh, so it chooses for me. Okay. I wasn't dumb enough to argue with someone with my hands tied, especially if said person was holding a knife. Loser. Okay. Alright, so if I don't pick, the game picks for me. Great! Lovely. Seeing as how I didn't respond, she sneered and lost interest in me, returning to the window. Note updated. Ooh. Oh, okay. Action mode. Here you can choose various actions. When your action points reach 0, the next phase will begin. Chat, talk to the kidnapper, observe, look at the items in the room. Because right now I can see a very old Nokia cell phone. I can see her matches? Or are this cigarettes? I think they look like cigarettes. And like some light fixture on the table. I think that looks like the base of a lamp with the light bulb. And it's missing the lamp head. And rest to restore stamina. Alright, that's cool. That's cool. And we've got 4 actions. Cool. We can't do observe right now. Okay, so we've already got... Okay, I thought it was 4 actions. Anyways, whatever. I guess we used up our first action earlier when we were looking at the time, I guess. Our stamina is pretty low, so I think it would be a good idea to rest and get our stamina up rather than chat. Guys, in chat, do you want to have a say on the do you want to have a say on this? I think we should rest, but I'm also open to chatting. But I have a feeling that she's gonna just kill us if we chat with her any more than this. What shall we do? EP time. Yes. I agree. Rest it is. Search within yourself. Thanks, Abby. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm gonna rest. Heck yeah! I should rest when I get the chance. Yes. Oh, yes, we got a new note, so I'm gonna read that. Just a second. Let me read my note. What time is it now? I couldn't tell. Okay, wait. Maiden. Her animosity against rich people made it impossible to communicate with her. Okay. Do we rest some more? I'm very curious about the chat option. I'm gonna try the chat option. Wait, what is this? Talk mode. Click on the icon to return to the previous page. Okay. Click on one of the topics. The list will change as you progress through the story. Oh, okay. Older girl. Alright, that's a dumb question because she wants ransom. She's not gonna untie us. I don't think she's gonna... guys, I don't think she's gonna give our name. I think it's time to look inward and start asking yourself the big questions. Do you want to talk or rest? I would... If I was in a situation... Guys, I'm streaming. I'm a chatty person. I would talk. But not at the risk of... Yeah, you know what? I'm a rest one more time. Alright. Yeah. I got to rest. Yeah, so what now? Okay. Can I save? Alright. Ooh. Can I say? Oh. Okay, guys. Guys, I can't save. Guys. Isn't that great? There's no saves coming here. I have to just make choices and then live with those choices. It's like reality. Isn't that great? Wow. What a great game. Yeah. You know what? Let's chat with her. Maybe she'll tell us her name. I don't think so. I mean, she is showing us her face. That says something. She's not really trying to hide her identity. I don't think so. So let's ask. What's your name? What's your name? The girl was staring at her phone and didn't hear my question, so I repeated it. Oh, she did tell us her name. Huang Yi. She carelessly said 2 syllables before suddenly shutting up. She raised her head and looked at me cautiously. Say again? I secretly remembered the partial answer, but acted as though I heard nothing. You think I'll tell you just so you can tell... You think I'll tell you just so you can call the cops later? How should I address you then? Hearing my response, she burst into laughter. How to address me? Are you out of your mind? You can address me any way you want. I'm not here to make friends. Well, that went better than expected. I wasn't sure how much time had passed, and I had grown hungry. My head still hurt a little, and my tied-up limbs only made me moody. She just sat there staring at her phone. She kept dialing some numbers with an anxious expression. Why don't you eat something? Not hungry. Did you already eat this morning? Just cut to the chase and stop beating around the bush, will you? She replied coldly, staring at me with a certain annoyance. Chill? Oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I feel like that's not gonna... oh my god, I don't think that's a good idea. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I shouldn't have done that. Keep blabbing, I dare you. After another kick out of nowhere, she looked down on me mercilessly. You want money, right? How much? Oh my god, kid, shut up. None of your business. I tried to negotiate with her, but she just looked even more annoyed. Look, if you let me go now, all my money is yours. All the cash on me, and in my bank accounts. That should work, right? I will say nothing, and I'll pretend that this never happened. I live by myself anyway. No one will suspect it if I just say that I took a walk. Shut up. You think I'm a fool? Why should I believe you? You think you can talk your way out of this? Just shut up and wait for your daddy to pay. She snorted and showed no interest in my proposal. What if he won't? He will. She interrupted me, raising her eyebrow in response. You will be in real trouble if he doesn't. I realized her implication. My dry chuckle felt bitter. She had a point. I would be in trouble without the ransom. I suppressed my worry, knowing it was not the time to panic. My priorities were collecting as much information as possible, replenishing my stamina, and finding a chance to escape. Can I have something to eat or drink? I haven't eaten anything since yesterday. Oh? The rich boy is already hungry after skipping one meal. Yep. Pretty pathetic, I know. I admitted without hesitation. My hunger was real and there was nothing impressive about hiding that. She couldn't retort, so she poured me a glass of water from the bottle after a grunt. I can't grab it unless you untie me. Just lick it like a dog. I tried to convince her to loosen up the rope, but she had no intention of doing so. Oh God. Then please hold still. Seriously? Noticing I would do as she suggested, she sounded surprised. Oh. Wasn't it your idea? If you don't want to, you can just feed me yourself. Not breaking a sweat, I replied coldly. Pride was not edible and I had to keep my strength. This is true? Why you? I was used to it. If someone wanted to insult me, someone wanted to insult or enrage you, just accept it plainly. People are like cats. They don't show interest in toys that don't struggle. Pretty fucked up, but yeah, kinda true. Kinda true. Don't move. No longer composed, she moved closer to me with water in her hand. What are you? Oh, I was pressed to the wall without finishing my sentence. She bent my head and forced the water down my throat, like some sort of torture. Ooh, almost waterboarding him. Gurgle, gurgle. Hey Abby, there's your ASMR. Want some more? She raised her eyebrows, smiling victoriously. Screw you. I couldn't say anything while choking. The spilled water soaked my clothes, making me tremble in this cold weather. That was straightforward and violent, but at least I can rest a little after drinking some water. My stamina went up, thank God. The cell phone on the table started vibrating. She stole a glance at me with pursed lips after seeing the number. People had small gestures when they were under pressure, like pursing lips, flipping hair, and biting nails. The person in question might not be aware of this, but one's body language revealed his or her true emotions. Stay here, and don't you dare make a sound. Leaving with that threat, she walked out through the door with this phone. The phone's right there on the table. I don't know how to tell you this any other way. With the door closed shut, I vaguely heard the conversation outside, but was not able to figure out the exact content. Was it an accomplice? There would be even less of a chance to escape if there were more of them. I sighed toward the window, as though mocking my effort. Every undesirable outcome had occurred. If there was only her, then I had to rest as much as possible. There might be a chance to escape when she wasn't careful. The door wasn't the only exit. I might even be able to jump out the window if I could free myself from these ropes. Locations, head count, weapons, too many uncertainties, let alone how to untie this damn crunchy rope. It was more practical to figure something out on my own than to wait for rescue. It would have been ideal if I could persuade her to let me go. I absolutely could not trigger her before I was prepared. At the very least, I should get her to drop her guard to facilitate my escape. After that, I would play it by ear. Yeah, these effects are intense. Is the volume okay? Do you want me to lower the volume for the sound effects? I could try doing that. Or how's the volume for the sound effects, the BGM? I think I'll put the sound effects volume to 70 at least. Maybe the BGM like to about 80 if it's too much. Does that sound okay, guys? Maybe slightly lower the SFX, but then all Gucci. Okay, perfect. All right, maybe the sound effects can go 65. I think that should be fine. Yeah. Right. You can lower the game volume compared to your mic by 5%. Okay, lower the game volume. Let me just go to desktop audio. And alright, I think that should be... Is that better? Can you hear me better? Or do I need to lower the volume of the game a bit more? Yeah. Alright, perfect. Alright, guys. Alright, we've got 3 actions. Let's observe. Oh, okay. Observation mode. Click on the icon to change view. When the cursor changes to the eye icon, you can look at certain objects by clicking on it. Very cool. Okay, so that's the icon. Eye icon. What the heck is that? I'm very curious about that. Chair. This. I beg of thee. Please let there just be endless observing. Please, I beg of thee. Alright. Oh, and there's a closet. Is that a closet or no? This is the entryway. Alright. Do I look at the Rabbi girl poster, or do I look at this this backpack, this little old backpack? Is that my backpack or no? I don't think so. I don't think it's my backpack. It looks like it could be hers because it's been there for a while. Maybe I can look at the table, but that's pretty obvious. Decay. You know what? I'm feeling this poster. This Rabbi DB. It's like the only point of personality in this entire place. And I am curious about it, so I'm gonna look at it. Nice game. You can never have too much of a game with a rabbit-eared goal. Thanks, Steam. That's a nice achievement. Okay, so I just wasted an action point on one poster. Fantastic. The yellowing paper reveals sign of age. It seems to be some popular video game from the past. That isn't really plausible. Okay, but my note is updated. Okay, so I can look around, but it requires loads of action points. Alright. I think I'm gonna spend all my action points here rather than on stamina. Alright. The yellowing paper reveal... No! No, that's bullshit. I did not pick that. I picked the freaking... the backpack. Okay. I think that was a... Maybe that was an error on the game's part. We move on. There's nothing usable as a weapon except a pen, which is a poor choice against a knife. Cool. That was utterly useless. Told you she was a gamer. Only a gamer could be so... See, when you typed that earlier, I didn't understand what that meant. I didn't understand, like, oh, she's a gamer. I thought you were referring to me rather than her. But now this makes sense. Now this makes sense in my brain. Alright. What else do I look at? Maybe this one. I like date and time. I need to know what... We know what time it is. What's the date? Oh, The date stopped at August 30th, 1999. If it is the date the original owner left the place, then it must be at least 15 years old. Oh. Oh my god. Maybe this will be important. August 30th, 1999. 15 years ago. So if our kidnapper is no older than 30, let's say she is 30. 15 minus 30. Okay, that becomes 2. We carry the 1. 5 all the way to 10 is 5. 1 all the way to 2 is what? 15. Oh, I'm an idiot. And this is basic math, Rena. You know this. It's just hush. Hello, Stargazer. I am doing well. It's lovely for you to be here. You did not witness that. No, you did not witness that. I am an intelligent woman. It's just that numbers sometimes escape me. It is perfectly normal. We will not speak about this anymore. Welcome to the stream. I hope you'll enjoy. We are kidnapped by a very attractive 30-year-old woman who does not look 30. She in fact looks like she's in her early 20s. She is very malnourished. Actually, no. She is very pale and malnourished. Probably because of how pale and weak her skin looks, apparently, according to our protagonist, who is an 18-year-old rich boy kidnapped for ransom. And he has his hands tied. And yeah, we got kicked in the gut a couple of times, but it's okay. I think he might be into it. I don't know. Alrighty. In my eyes, she's very attractive. She is the type of attractiveness that could kill you. And not in like a sexy, seductress way. In like I've lived on the streets. I know I have looked fear and death in the face and survived. That kind of woman. That kind of dangerous. No wonder it looks this miserable, or rather, it is kind of a miracle for this place to even still be standing after so many years without any sort of maintenance. Okay. Day 1, noon. The sunlight shone through the window at a certain angle, adding some dynamism. That's the first time I've seen this word. To the dark room. Even the moldy smell seemed to be much fainter. Damn it. The girl walked back and forth in the room, anxiety clear on her face. What's wrong? Your dad doesn't believe you're with us. What an idiot. Why do I always feel I should have gone for the other one? Why not let me talk to him? Fucking hell. Shut up. Who do you think you are? Did I ask for your opinion? Triggering her sensitive nerve, she threw me another kick. Great. I just think it might be more effective. No one cares what you think. Shut up and wait for the ransom. Got it? What's so funny? You think I wouldn't lay a finger on you? She frowned upon hearing my laughter and then took out her weapon threateningly. No, it's just that I'm not that important to him. What do you mean? Noticing how odd my statement was, she raised her eyebrow and followed up. And I followed up. I haven't contacted my family for a long time. Our relationship isn't as close as you may think. Ever since I got kidnapped, I've been wondering if I should tell her that or not. I was a poor choice of a hostage. Maybe she would let me go or silence me instead. However, it was only a matter of time before she found out, so I might as well have been transparent here. Why? Rebellious phase or something? He's self-centered. Or maybe just a workaholic. My complicated family relationship was hard to explain in a few words. I was deciding how to piece my sentences together to answer her question. He spends half a year abroad and never cares about the family. He will work till midnight, even when he is back in Taiwan. I don't even see him that often on holidays. It's always about the company. It's all about the stockholders and employees, blah blah blah. In my opinion, it's all for his own ego. Whether it was my graduation, birthday, or even car accident, he never showed up. Not even a single damn call. Clearly, his job is far more important than me. He probably wouldn't even know about the accident if not for the hospital calling an emergency contact. I tried to shrug, but my tied-up hands made it impossible. Anyway, he doesn't care if I'm dead or alive. He might even feel relieved about me getting kidnapped. Is this dashing pirated lady? Yep, she is. This is our pirated lady. She is our kidnapper. Isn't she great? I love her so much. Yep, he's an economy man. He is not a great man. He's not a great dad. I bet you he's embezzled a whole lot of money laundering, all the way. This is just peak scum. Sorry about that, but you would have better luck with his secretary. Hell, if you let me go now, I can even tell you his secretary's number as a bonus. I proposed half-jokingly, yet her reaction was unexpected. She didn't open her mouth, instead just looking at me coldly from beside the window. You think that's funny? To my surprise, she walked to me while flipping her hair. You think you deserve sympathy? Want me to pity you? She grabbed my collar and pulled me so close I could feel her breath. Car accident? Hospitalized? Your daddy doesn't give a shit about you? Be fucking grateful that he didn't leave you a pile of debt. You think everyone has a happy family? School, meals, a home. So many things you take for granted aren't the case for us. Stop acting like some victim if you know nothing. You just make me want to puke. Every word was delivered clearly. Her voice contained a certain indescribable weight. Seeing me not responding, she let go of my collar and spat on the ground angrily. Patu. I'm wasting my time. Realizing she might have spoken too much, she turned her head away and then returned to the window like a bursted bubble. Well, that didn't work. No, lightly. I sighed lightly. Things wouldn't be that easy after all. It was true, I wanted to win her pity, but that was no lie either. A father away, working, and a mom never home. That's the image of my family. Dang, when is the main character gonna rizz her up? Like, I know, right, Stargazer? Like, when's the lines gonna come up, you know, the pickup lines? Oh baby, are we at a funeral? Because I think I died and went to heaven. The singer. I'll see myself out. Okay, thank you very much. Every time I was home, all I could see upon opening the door was the vast empty living room. I noticed how big the house was. So big that I could feel only emptiness. I breathed out, raised my head, and looked at that small part of the sky from the window. The only lie was that I no longer felt hurt by it. Man, that really sucks though. That the feeling of walking home to an empty home and no one there, and that being your everyday normal. It's lonely for sure, but I can see how aggravating it can be when you see others who have the opposite. You feel good for them, obviously. Not obviously, some people don't, but I mean, if you want to be a decent person, if you want to be a good person, you want to feel happy for others when they have what you don't. But I think it is also human nature to feel that twang of jealousy. Those questions of, why couldn't it be me? Why couldn't I have that? Why did I have to be stuck in this shitty situation? And dealing with that, coming to terms with it, accepting it for what it is, and moving on if you want to be a better person. Moving on and learning to find joy elsewhere while still healing from old wounds. Easier said than done, honestly. It can take years, it can take a lifetime to recover from, and most don't ever recover from it, but it can be done. Hunger. Night came, and I had eaten nothing but some crackers. I never knew starving could be this uncomfortable. She didn't seem to eat anything either. She was either staring at her phone or smoking while looking out the window. There were a few phone calls, but they were all made outside, so I couldn't hear them. I didn't know what they discussed, but it didn't appear the negotiation with my family was smooth. After all the hesitation, I decided to ask her. What? I need to go to the bathroom. She stole a glance at me, but acted as though she heard nothing. I said, I need to go to the bathroom. I repeated myself. This time she slowly turned toward me. You. She probably didn't expect my physiological needs. She opened her mouth awkwardly, but couldn't say anything. Can't you figure something out on your own? Clearly the type that got angry when having nothing to say, she turned her head with a stern face, knocking on the desk with her knuckle. Realizing this might be a chance to make her untie the rope, I grew silent. Good choice. Not knowing my plan, she acted carefree, but kept stealing glances in my direction. Since it was about time, I sighed innocently. I guess I have to do it here after all. Wait. Seeing I wasn't joking, she stopped me with a darkened face. Are you a retard? Oh, we can't say that word here. Are you stupid? Can't you go to the bathroom yourself? Staying in an old house was one thing, but even a kidnapper wouldn't want to stay in a room filled with crap. But I can't even unzip myself like this. You are so annoying! She pushed me to the wall suddenly and turned me over. What on? I panicked over not seeing anything. I tried to turn myself back, but only heard a cold voice next to my ear. Be quiet. She pressed my body with her elbow and I felt a cold sensation on my back. No question about what that was. No talking, no struggling. If you move, I stab. If you yell, I stab. She wasn't going to castrate me, was she? She knew that even without my genitals, I'd still need to go to the bathroom, right? Bear it. You just grin and bear it, dude. I kept control and made sure I didn't speak, quietly awaiting her next move. Suddenly, the restriction on my hands disappeared. Oh. It was quite a relief, both mentally and physically. My hands were finally free, and I felt like all my energy was used up. I never thought moving freely could bring such happiness. Even my shoulders and neck felt much better. If I could move my hands, my chance of escape was much higher. Raise your hands. One coffee. As though she saw through me, I saw the sharp knife when I turned around. Eh? I told you to raise your hands. Wait a sec. I won't. She was surely not giving me the chance to explain myself. Not risking my own life, I raised my hands obediently. I can't escape even without the rope. Who would be so dumb as to fight someone with a knife? She ignored my nagging and showed no hesitation with her movements. My happiness evaporated instantly. Within a minute of my freedom, I realized I returned to being a prisoner. Oh. I've been in a bathroom like this before. One glance at the bathroom and antiquated was the only word I could think to describe it. What is with my reading? The old bathroom naturally wasn't huge. The light from the window was the only illumination and the air smelled of mold. The tiles were engulfed with dirt and the bathtub covered in tiles, and the ink green toilets all looked like the products of the last century. The drain was so nasty I couldn't even look at it. I tried to make a face in the mirror, but the reflection was so blurry I couldn't even recognize myself. My effort to tear the rope was in vain. I moved my tied hands back and forth, but I couldn't remove it without some tool. If I could find some sort of sharp item, like a razor or a broken tile. Done yet? You better not have any funny ideas. Almost done. She sounded impatient outside the door. To avoid any suspicion, I chose not to stay too long. I prepared to leave after finishing my business. Bathroom breaks were the only time I was by myself. If only I could find some weapons. I twisted the faucet. Surprisingly, there was still running water. Good, you washed your hands. Upon exiting, she immediately moved closer in case I was hiding something. From the rope to my pockets, she didn't miss any detail. There's nothing, really. Even the body search didn't seem to remove her suspicion of me, as though there was no way I could be this obedient. She's not wrong. She's a good kidnapper. She's thorough. It'll be fine if I cooperate, right? I'm not brave enough to risk my life. You better not be. You're the only one in trouble if you try to escape. If the rope can't hold you, I wouldn't mind breaking your leg. Making that final threat, she returned to the window and lit a cigarette. She tiredly supported her head. Cigarettes, they're used to suppress hunger. And she, if I'm not mistaken, has barely eaten anything, if anything at all. We're looking at someone in a desperate situation, and something about the debt from earlier is probably a good indication of that. The messy hair hid her expression, making it hard to tell her thoughts, which seemed to disappear with the cigarette smoke. Probably also contributing to her complexion. Hey. She recklessly went through my cell and asked suddenly, why don't you have your mom's number here? I accidentally deleted it. Oh? She's busy. She's got no time for me. Having no intention to talk about my family, I tried to end the topic quickly. Yet she started laughing mockingly. So busy that she doesn't even know her own son. Wait, wrong voice. So busy that she doesn't even know her own son was kidnapped? Isn't your dad the only one working? What is she busy with? Shopping? Afternoon tea? Buying luxury purses abroad? How biased can you be? Oh no, another quick time. I was fed up with her unreasonable attitude, trying to paint rich people as pigs drowning in money and all sorts of luxury. They had no ability nor brains and were only good at ordering people around with money. Exhausted their employees every day just to earn more money to waste. I didn't know how many people believed in such stereotypes, always suspecting others were doing something illegal if they had a better life themselves. They didn't ponder the reason behind those differences, but simply lamented the social injustice and cursed others' success. Such blind hatred of the rich was simply laughable. All these claims of they're just lucky and rely on their parents, I could do the same if I were rich, were just to propel forward their self-righteousness. Biased? Hearing my words, she snorted and raised her eyebrow in disapproval. Are you kidding me? Aren't you the ones with the bias? What can you achieve without a diploma? Hey, who let people like her in? Watch out. She must be a thief if she's this poor. Aren't these your slogans? Ha! After her lively imitation, she burst into laughter, a voice filled with self-deprecation. I would like to know what I've done to deserve all your bias. Her tone sounded like one who had been through so much discrimination. I wasn't sure what sort of experience had led to such extreme mindset. Alright, before we go forward, I must excuse myself. I am starving. I am actually very, very hungry, and my stomach is grumbling, and it's gonna get only louder from here. I hope you don't mind. I just need to go, and I'll get a snack real quick. I know. And with the context of this game at this moment. Anyways, I'll be right back. Thank you. I'll be right back. Just a minute. Yet such words from the mouth of a kidnapper seemed only to prove those biased statements. Okay, now I'm going. I'm back. I hope everybody also went out and got a snack, maybe something to drink, maybe a bathroom break. Because I sure as hell did. Got some water with me and had like 3 dates for my snack and some spicy corn. Spicy corn is very delicious, by the way. If you ever get the chance to have some, I highly recommend. And in case I get hungry throughout the stream, I do have some lemon almonds. Almonds coated with some lemon stuff on them. But it's pretty good, and it's also really good for people who are anemic. This is something I know from a friend who suffers from being anemic, and she always carried like a packet of almonds with her, and she snacked on them regularly, and she's like, I need to keep my blood levels up, you know, and this almonds help. So yeah. Oh, you sat there reading about the Qing dynasty. Is it pronounced as the Qing dynasty or the Qing dynasty? Avi, do you know? Is there a... Actually, let me look it up. Qing, yes, Qing. Okay, smoked almonds are delicious, and if I had them, I would have devoured them for sure. But alas, we do not. However, we do have smoked cashews, and they're spicy smoked cashews. Oh my god, they're amazing. And if it wasn't for the fact that if I eat too many of them, I get a massive stomachache, I would be eating them right now. But what did you learn from the Qing dynasty, Abby? Anything interesting you'd like to share with class? I was shocked that it was 300 years ago, because I associate the Qing as being useless and weak. Oh! The Qing dynasty was useless and weak. Forgive me, because my knowledge of Chinese history is very lacking. So I did not know that the Qing dynasty was considered as useless and weak in the first place. I'd love to know more. Maybe another time though. I just remembered I'm in the middle of a game. They don't call it the 100 years of... Oh! The 100 years of humiliation. Damn, okay, I'm interested. I think I'm gonna look this up in my own time. Okay, this is cool. Well then, our boy, I forgot his name already, but I think Hao Jiang. Well, he's in a world of pain and humiliation, so that's gonna be swell. Anyways, shall we continue? Note update. Okay, I have to read these notes. Before I go on, I'm gonna read these notes. Okay, situation. Based on the calendar, this place might have been abandoned for more than 10 years. Okay. Alright, so we successfully untied the rope. No, actually, it's crossed out. Does that mean we were successful, or like this is not an option anymore? Okay, there was nothing in my backpack. Okay, cool. That was from when we looked at his backpack, and there was that error. Yeah, there was nothing that could cut the rope. If only I had something sharp. The video game poster on the wall had turned yellow. Was the former resident a video game nerd? I have a feeling, as said before by Abby, she's a gamer. I think our maiden, she's the one who used to be a gamer. Still don't know who she was. If only I could get her name. So her last name is Huang, but I still had no recollection of her. Why did she pick me as a target? Okay, her animosity against rich people made it. Maybe it was discrimination from her being impoverished that led to such a deep-seated animosity. All right, so she hates being discriminated, and that discrimination. Right. Maybe we can use this in our next action sequence when she's in the room. Got to talk to her. Sorry, guys. My nose, it waters every now and then, so I have a tissue on standby. I have a tissue on standby to help with that. Okay. She turned her head and was unwilling to say more. Night arrived. Her eyes sparkled like stars and focused on some faraway place I couldn't reach. It couldn't be helped. I know that. The world isn't fair. The girl's whisper was barely audible, and I wasn't sure if it was directed at me or to herself. It echoed within the room like some spell and stayed for a long time. Oh, what was that? What was that waiting screen? Dots. Dot, 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 dots. Many things were easier than expected. She never knew kidnapping could be this easy. He was taken without any sort of resistance. Where, from her point of view. Oh, this is exciting. The girl looked at the boy next to the wall, who curled his body up to preserve some warmth. The short and rapid breathing seemed to indicate he couldn't find peace even in a dream. Uncertain if he had really fallen asleep, the girl didn't close her eyes despite her drowsiness, afraid he might escape if she wasn't careful. Once she got the ransom, she could start a new life, away from the stigma and boredom. The cell phone flashed a notification. Some hesitation flew across the girl's face, but it reverted back to the same look of sternness. She had long decided that it didn't matter what it would take. So long as she had lived, so long had she lived for someone else. It was time to fight for her own right. Through kidnapping, though? Yes. Silence, girl. Ooh. This is exciting. Save. Alright, let's take a sip of water. Next chapter. Day 2, Silence Girl. So cold. I didn't feel better after I slept. Instead, I felt even more tired. I was hoping to find a chance to escape when she fell asleep. However, time passed and she didn't show any sign of closing her eyes. I couldn't help but fall asleep first. The last thing I saw was her lighting another cigarette. My body must have been really exhausted if I could fall asleep like that. Mittens? Are you okay? Sorry guys, my cat. She is on high alert. She just... Mittens, do you sense something? I will take that as a no. Alright. Guys, this is why you keep a cat or some sort of animal around you. They can sense things that you do not if you are the superstitious type. Am I superstitious? Not exactly. But I do know things happen. And so, it doesn't hurt to have an extra precaution. By the way, Mittens is a cat. She's a very lovely cat. I love her very much. She is the love of my life at the moment. You may think it would have been my husband, but no, it is not. It is my cat. Oh, no worries, Stargazer. I'm glad that you're focusing more on work. That's way more important than this. And I'm glad you're having fun regardless, or a good time regardless. And don't worry about it. I'm going to re-upload this as a VOD on my second YouTube channel. And yeah, so if you ever want to catch back up on this, it'll be available there. Well, she's not my cat exactly, Avi. She was originally my niece's cat, and my niece named her Mittens when she was like 9. And she and her family had to move elsewhere. So me and my husband are taking care of her instead, and have been taking care of her for the past 2 years. It's been a lovely 2 years. However, we did not sign up for a cat, but she is. She's the excitement and the light of both of our lives. I love her so much. She's so cute. Yep, kitten over husband. And you know what? That man would also choose Mittens over me any day. I don't blame him. Neither of us blame each other. We freaking love her. Uh, Sometimes he joins my streams, actually. I don't know if he's lurking in the background. Wait, let me check. Truly, I'm trying. Wait, is my husband lurking in the background today? No, it doesn't seem so. It's alright. But yeah, sometimes he does lurk in the background of my streams. And it would have been very funny if he was here. But alas, he's not, which is fine. Anyways. Oh! Oh, it's a new girl, a new character. She's adorable. I opened my eyes in a daze and saw an unfamiliar face right before me. Ah. I jumped back reflexively, and I tried to shield my chest with my hands. Yet, my tied-up hands reminded me of my kidnapped status. Regardless, I was shocked by this new face. She's so cute. She's so heckin' cute. I stared at the new girl before me. The first thing I noticed were her beautiful eyes, clean, light brown like pieces of amber. Her thick coat and dark red sweater made her look pretty old. Her small body suggested she might have been in junior high, so she was clearly unfit for a place like this. Okay, little girl. I didn't know who she was, but I easily noticed the knife in her hand. Alright. This has somehow become Higurashi. Yep. Another one. Another fire lady kidnapper. This is a child stargazer. No. This is not the same. She stared straight at me, but showed no signs of speaking, which somehow emitted an inexplicable pressure. Who are you? I tried to ask her, but she refused to answer and shook her head. She was on guard of every movement with pressed lips. There was no sign of the kidnapper around. There were only the two of us in the room, and her books are on the floor. She's been studying. In other words, a good chance to escape. Do I try to struggle? Pulling the rope right and left, I noticed that there were some gaps despite how tight it was. It might loosen up if I pulled a few times more. Okay, information, this is good. If only I could rub it against something sharp. Don't move. Hearing her nervous voice, I raised my head and saw her pointing the knife at me, only a step away. A thought crossed my mind suddenly. Could I push the rope in her direction as she stabbed? And could that cut the rope? No, boy, that is risky. Impossible. The sudden thought was just laughable. This wasn't some action flick where this sort of ridiculous plan would work. Although that made her position clear, there would only be a victim or accomplice here. If she wasn't tied up and instead held a knife. Wait, if she wasn't tied up and instead held a knife. She must be my guard. Ah, okay. Understood that line now. There's a knife in her hand. That's not a hard perception check. Yeah. You're shocked, okay. I had no idea why they would pick her as a partner. I could defeat someone of her size even if she held a knife. Assuming she was alone. Is there anyone else here? There would be no progress if I didn't strike up a conversation. I decided to speak proactively after giving it some thought. She stared at me tightly with no response, making one wonder if she understood. You were asked to guard me, right? Still, no response. Can you untie the rope for me? I can't feel them now, and if I stay like this... She shook her head, finally speaking, after being silent for a while.
Big sis told me not to listen to you.
Her voice was light and quiet, like smoke in air. I finally heard her speak, yet it was frustrating to hear something so pointless. I finally heard her speak. Okay, who's this big sis? Who is this big sis? Is she the one with the long hair that kidnapped me? Where is she? I need to talk to her. After continuously asking her questions, I'd gotten not a single answer. Perhaps I was asking them too eagerly, and that made her cautious. She looked at me suspiciously, but refused to say anything. I told myself to hang in there. I had to stay calm in these situations. I took a deep breath to suppress my unease. I tried to smile to lighten the mood. Do you have anything else to eat? Don't tell me your sister doesn't allow that either. I had no strength with an empty stomach. I hadn't eaten anything since yesterday, and my stamina went out faster in this cold weather. I had to save my energy for my chance. This was a war of attrition. Either she'd let me go, or I'd give up first. Answering with actions, she put a bowl on the ground, grabbed the water bottle with difficulty, and carefully poured some into it. Aww. Here. She handed me the bowl and then brought me a pack of crackers. Worrying I might escape, she never moved her gaze away from me. The hand grasping the knife never loosened up. Observing her actions quietly, I hoped to read her thoughts, but couldn't discern anything except stress. Aww. I drank the water with much effort, spilling quite a bit on my clothes due to my tied-up hands. My clothes were wet again after finally getting dried. Oh, that is not going to be good during this cold weather. You are going to get frostbite. The hard crack... No, you're going to get a fever, not frostbite. It's not that cold. Yet. The hard crackers tasted like pure flour alone. Hard to swallow even with water. I knew it was not the time to be picky. I had to cherish any opportunity to replenish my strength. Excuse me. Noticing her conflicting gaze, I asked, "What's wrong?"
Big sis is not a bad person. She will let you go when she gets the money. So please, don't move.
I will cooperate. I will cooperate. At least for now.
She's adorable. Oh, look at her face. She's smiling.
I didn't finish the full sentence, but she already looked happy and clearly dropped her guard a little.
Ah. Organizing the information I could gather, I started to plan my next steps. Please befriend the sweet girl. Please. Please.
Oh man, I hope there's a happy ending. I hope there's a good ending to this game. I have a feeling like there isn't, but I think it's not bad to hope, is it? I know she's the cutest kidnapper. If I had to be kidnapped, I would rather be kidnapped by a child. And then wonder what the hell is a child doing kidnapping a full-grown woman. Would the teacher notice something was wrong if I hadn't gone to the cram school for 2 days? Unlikely, considering how often I skipped it. Unless it lasted long enough. But even in the worst case scenario, they would only contact the parents instead of the police. I started to regret not having more friends who would notice me going missing. Expecting her to let me go upon getting the ransom, would it really be that easy? Remembering that vague smile, I did feel reassured. The girl was squatting next to the wall and stared at me while hugging her legs. There was no curiosity in her eyes, as though nothing interested her here. She was just guarding this place at someone else's behest. Big sis, huh? Considering their relationship, it was unlikely she planned the kidnapping. She was most likely just an accomplice, following orders. Unlike some stereotypical bad girls who smoked or dyed their hair, she looked like a well-behaved but shy kid. At least, if I had met her in this situation. So who was planning all this? Somehow I felt things weren't as simple as they seemed. There were too many points of suspicion if they were the only ones planning this. Even carrying me here should have been problematic for them. Also, the person she was contacting concerned me as well. Hey.
I called out to catch her attention and tried to start a conversation. She was younger than the kidnapper yesterday and with much less animosity. There might have been a chance to convince her.
How did you get my information? You're a student, right? Do you know what you're doing? Did they mention the city that... yes? I don't... Oh, darn. Wait. Let me just... I think I remembered this was mentioned earlier. I was talking about, from Taiwan. We are in Taiwan right now. But where exactly in Taiwan, I'm not very sure. Yeah, I have no idea. Sorry, guys. From Taipei. Oh, not Tai. Oh my God. Have I been saying Taiwan this whole time? I apologize. No, it's not. It wasn't Taiwan. It was Taipei. From Taipei to that city in the south. Yeah. I have no idea where we are, guys. You're a student, right? Do you know what you're doing? She stared at me with no change of expression. I wasn't sure if she heard me. This might be even more troublesome than the other one. I could at least guess my kidnapper's thoughts if there was some sort of conversation. I was only wasting my time here at this rate. Oh, Taipei is Taiwan. Oh. Well, shoot. I never was good at geography. Thank you, Abby, for enlightening me. Good to know. I don't know what she told you, but this is a kidnapping. I tried to sound more threatening to make her talk. No, don't do that. She's so sweet and tiny. There would be a punishment even if you're underage, and that would involve your family too. Do you know that? They're just Oh, dude. Oh, come on. They're just using you. They might blame this all on you later.
Big sis wouldn't do that.
She abruptly interrupted me. How can you be so sure? Just because she was kind to you? Do you think she would still be on your side by then? Finally, making her talk, I tried to push forward. Has she told you her plan after getting the money? Do you really know her?
Big sis would not do such a thing. You're the one who doesn't know her.
She interrupted me loudly and stood up all of a sudden, with her little body shaking. Oh, scary little girl. I got chills. I didn't expect such a big reaction. Perhaps her relationship with her big sis was closer than I thought. Of course. I don't know. I don't know your big sis. I stopped for a few seconds and stared at her coldly. All I know is that she's a kidnapper. That's all. That's all that matters.
Liar! You don't know why big sis...
She raised the knife and yelled at me with her chest, heaving up and down, but swallowed the word before the key part. Why then?
Big sis is just...
Facing my questioning, she lowered her gaze. Worrying she might get too agitated and really harm me, I decided to change the subject, despite my desire to continue. Anyway, oh my god, this music, it's a bit too loud. Oh, okay, perfect. Whew, that was intense. It was stressful. Anyway, I don't get it, but you better give it some thought. I coldly ended the conversation, leaving her staring at me hesitantly. No matter how much faith one had in others, no one would stay still after hearing those words. I wasn't sure how effective that was. I could only wait and see.
It's not like that.
Not able to retort, she squatted next to the wall in depression, mumbling with her head in her arms. Oh, poor sweet baby girl. Seeing her almost about to cry made me feel a little uncomfortable, but I would do anything as long as I could get out of here. Besides, they were the ones at fault here. There should be no sense of guilt involved, even if I hurt them a little. Nah, dude. Okay, maybe pirate lady, maybe your initial kidnapper, fine, but not the child. She looks like she's in junior high.
Yeah, say sorry, protagonist. Huan Zhang, I think.
Let's try to strike up a conversation with her. Wait, first I want to check my notes. Okay, so I couldn't rest with this cold weather. If only there was something warm. So we need something sharp. I need to know the time, I guess. Oh wait, no, the time was stuck. If I'm not... Oh, no, it wasn't stuck back then. I need to know what time it is. There was nothing in my backpack. Okay, we need something short. Short? No, sharp. The only exits are the door and the window. Is there really nowhere else? Okay, that means maybe we have to check in the bathroom when we get the chance. Converse with her, and we need to keep warm. Girl. She didn't seem to have the same level of animosity as the other girl. Maybe I could convince her. She believed her sister would let me go once she got the money, if only things would go so smoothly. Okay. Huh. Let's chat. Young girl. Ooh, okay. So cold. Who are you? Why me? How long have you known Big Sis? I don't think we can ask any questions about Big Sis because that seems to be a very sensitive topic, especially after we aggravated her so much. And I don't think she knows why exactly he was chosen specifically. I think that's a useless thing to ask. Who are you? I'm not sure she's dumb enough to tell who she is, especially if her sister hasn't even told who she is. So let's go with so cold, which is the easiest thing. It's the easiest thing to gain her sympathy for now. So cold.
Huh.
She made a sound to indicate she heard me. I waited a while before continuing to talk. If only it was a little warmer. With my movements restrained, I had no way to get information if they didn't talk to me. To get information from her, I needed to find a way to make her talk. After all, telling her directly I want to talk most likely wouldn't work. I want some coffee. You really don't talk much? You really don't talk much, do you?
No.
One word ended the conversation. Even I didn't know how to continue. That was useless. The coffee did not make sense. Like, where is she gonna go and get coffee from? All you've been getting is crackers and water this whole time. Why would you ask for coffee? Unless I'm the idiot and you ask a pointless question like coffee to get her talking anyways, because she would be so flabbergasted like, dude, I just gave you crackers and waters. What does this look like a cafe, a bougie cafe where you can get a croissant and a coffee, café au lait, chocolate, or something like that? No. I'm the idiot. Oh, anyways. In this economy? Yeah, exactly. Regardless of our difference in age and background, plus the fact she was the kidnapper's accomplice, let's try to strike up a conversation with her. Okay. I have to do this. Young girl, one more time. One more time. One more time. Guys, should I do this one more time? Please, Abby, what do you think I should do? Should I try one more time? Should I try to talk to her one more time? Or should I give up and instead look around? I need your help, please. Because, like, clearly what I want to ask and say is not working. If I was in his position, I would be dead. Talk about... Are you sure? Okay, you know what? I'll try it. How long have you known Big Sis? She stared at me cautiously, as though not feeling too happy about me saying bad things about her big sis. You really like your big sister, huh? I sighed heavily. The depression on my chest didn't lessen one bit.
Yeah.
She nodded without a second thought. She was only this certain when it involved her big sis. Okay. No, I don't know. What if you're being manipulated? Fuck. What if you're being manipulated?
I don't want to hear that.
She awkwardly turned her head to hide it behind the book and refused to talk. I shouldn't have said that. I should have just said whatever. Why do I choose these answers? Option 2 is a landmine. Let's look at the girl. She was unexpectedly loyal to her big sister. Yep. Got that. You stepped on... I stepped on it. I have no tact. I don't deserve to be an empress. I have no tact. Wars would erupt because of my tactlessness. Damn it. Can I reload? Is there any way to reload? Can I... Guys, can I save scum? Can I please redo this? No, we live with our choices. This is life. It happens. Shit happens. We have to live with our choices. Okay. maybe I'll chat with her one more time, because I don't know when is the next chance that I'm gonna get it. So I'm gonna ask her who she is.
Who are you?
She's not gonna tell me. She silently looked at me, showing no desire to talk. Are you a student?
I don't go to school.
She shook her head, still not really interested in talking to me. I looked at her. She must be underage with such thin arms and a slender body. Do your parents know about this? Do they allow you to do such a thing? She pressed her lips and shook her head, feeling the mood was too heavy. I decided to talk to her a little later. Oh, dude, there would not be I don't know. There's gonna be a little later. Imprisoned life was surprisingly boring. I couldn't do anything with tied hands, and the only person I could talk to was silent as a rock in one corner of the room. There was no phone, no TV, no internet. The usually insufficient 24 hours now felt way too long. Yet, she didn't look one bit bored. Flipping through a book from God knows where, she observed my movements from time to time. I ate the same crackers for breakfast and lunch. I also went to the bathroom once, hoping to find a chance to escape. She stood outside with the knife when I was in there, neither rushing me nor leaving. Having found nothing useful there, I left post-haste. Don't you eat anything more normal? Or do you just love crackers? Dude, that is an insensitive thing to say. You should discern from the situation. Girl doesn't go to school. Her sister looks malnourished and is only smoking cigarettes. And they've just been having crackers. They cannot afford any more than this, my dude. She ate the same thing as me. They were cheap and tasteless, no matter how long you chewed, and they only served to make your mouth dry. Unless you won a year's worth of them from a lottery, there was no reason to keep eating them. I started the conversation out of boredom. She raised her head thoughtfully.
This is very cheap, and it lasts long.
Aren't you worried about malnutrition? There was nothing but starch, let alone fiber or vitamins. Pretty ironic for something called a nutrition biscuit.
Oh.
Showing no concern about balancing her diet, she didn't even raise her head, but just replied nonchalantly. Hanging out with her this whole morning, she didn't give any sort of proper response, except when it was about her big sis. Pretty incredible, I would say. Strangely enough, it wasn't like she cared about this big sis that much. It was more like she just didn't care about anything else. Did you figure something out with my dad?
No idea.
Her answer, without hesitation, didn't appear to be a lie. However, it did trigger my curiosity if she didn't even care about the status of the ransom. No matter who you are, you must care about something, whether it be family, work, or some dream. Yet, she had none of that. There wasn't even some sort of animosity against me. Only caution at most. Focus on resting! We're not gonna talk. No more. Rather than fulfilling pointless curiosity, I should rest and replenish my strength. Yes. Please, let the stamina bar go up. Okay, good. It did. Within the silence, the sudden phone vibration sounded extra sharp. Unlike yesterday, the girl picked up the phone immediately.
Hello?
Perhaps she was asked about me, as the girl glanced at me when answering the phone call.
Yes, it's all right.
I had no idea what the conversation entailed and could only guess from her words.
Okay. Okay.
It was the kidnapper from yesterday. Where could she be if she needed to call to confirm my situation? Did she really contact someone to get the ransom? Or maybe they had other bases?
He's next to me. All right.
The girl handed me the phone. I raised my tied hands and then shrugged helplessly. She hesitated a little and then put the phone next to my ear. At this distance, maybe I could bump into her by surprise. I could still probably overwhelm her even with my tied up limbs. Before making up my mind, I heard a voice from the phone. Hello? The cold voice sounded a little different through the phone. The noisy background seemed to indicate she was somewhere outside, maybe a restaurant or a karaoke place. Hey, can you hear me? Yep.
I see you're still kicking.
Sorry to disappoint. She didn't seem pleased with my greeting. Maybe she was expecting me to go into a panic and shiver in a corner. The more she wanted to see me in fear, the more I wanted to act indifferently. It wasn't part of any sort of strategy, just some pointless show of resistance. You should know this by now, but I'll repeat it again. Don't try to run. Don't ask questions. I am watching you, and if anything happens... She paused, then left a threat. Even if I agree to return you, I wouldn't be breaking the deal if you lost an arm or leg. Got it. I heard you the first 2 times. I didn't even need to guess what she wanted to say. Lose an arm or a leg, throw me off a cliff, blah blah blah. Hell, even agreeing to return me alive was already saintly of her. Most wouldn't even intend to keep the hostage alive. Hostages usually got silenced after the kidnappers got the money and were ready to run. I didn't plan to believe her words from the beginning. If I played too nice, I might get killed without knowing how. Is my dad paying?
None of your business. Just worry about yourself.
But... bullshit. Why would I ask about that if not out of concern for my own safety? I wanted to ask more, but got stopped mercilessly. I'm heading back now, so stay put. That's all. Hey, wait! Before I could say anything, she hung up. Hanging up right after she said whatever she wanted. What a woman. Hearing the empty sounds of a disconnected call, I knew being mad would make no difference.
What did Big Sis say?
She approached me once the call ended and asked me worriedly. Within the short period of time, I wondered what to say. We're gonna be honest! Because we're a good person! She told me to stay put, and she would be home soon.
Oh.
See, I feel like I can't be I think I'm just gonna die. I'm just gonna have to die. Oh. Not showing any emotion, she simply took away the phone and sat back in the corner. I remembered how the big sis sat next to the window, smoking, seemingly in thought and also impatience. In contrast, this girl was way too quiet, and she just sat there, holding her legs together. How much did she really know about the kidnapping? She didn't even know me, nor what to do. Her big sis asked her to guard me, so she guarded. Her big sis asked her not to talk to me, so she didn't talk to me. Whether it was about the outcome or the reward, she was clueless, and she didn't care. She just had faith in her big sis. Such blind trust was not fair, far from stupidity. I almost felt bad for her. Time felt much longer when you're waiting. I even sighed in relief when I heard a sound approach. A motorcycle engine was shut down not too far away, and the closing footsteps echoed through the staircase. The noise was empty, but had a certain rhythm. There was no elevator. Was this an apartment? Or some privately owned house? I could only hear one person's footsteps, so there was no one coming back with her. I'm back. The one who walked in was the same girl from the day before, aka the big sis. Same overcoat as yesterday, and her expressions hadn't changed either. Welcome home. Unsure of what was going on in my mind, she looked at me suspiciously and handed the plastic bag in her hand to the other girl. Bento. Eat it while it's still hot. Big sis. The little girl whispered something into her ear. I couldn't tell the context from the distance. The girl nodded, staring dead straight at me. Once the girl finished, she moved towards me with the knife. She tried to check the rope, even pulling it a few times to make sure it was tight enough. I told you I didn't do anything. If I could get out of this, do you really think I would stay here? Quiet. Ask her then. She threw the other girl a questioning glance, which was answered by a silent nod. Her head wasn't even turned. It seemed like the bento was much more attractive than the situation here. She snorted unhappily but couldn't find a reason to act up. She then just started to laugh scornfully. Whatever. I doubt you have the balls to try anything. You have a rich mummy and daddy arranging everything for you, from school to work. You probably even have a maid cleaning the house. You can't do shit on your own, can you? Here we go again. This ridiculous resentment was not just aimed at me, but anyone with a better life than her. What was the point of hating all these people? Would it change anything about her life? Wouldn't it be more practical if she tried to change something instead of hating? Where did you go? She probably would only be more pissed off if this continued, so I decided to change the subject to avoid trouble. Oh, wouldn't you like to know, Not cutting me any slack, she raised her eyebrow provocatively. I sighed helplessly. This was really going nowhere if she kept up with this attitude. You start eating. Why did that sound like a robot voice? You start eating. Don't mind me. Only after she spoke did I notice the little girl hadn't moved her chopsticks despite having the bento opened, as though waiting for her big sis to start the meal together. I had dinner already. You don't need to leave me anything. Oh, I have a feeling that she didn't have anything to eat. She loosened her furrowed brow and patted the little girl's head kindly. There was even a smile on her face. The little girl nodded obediently. Even an outsider like me could tell how close they were. If anything, I couldn't believe she still had such an expression in her. More questions popped into my mind upon seeing their interaction. With such familiarity, what was their relationship? I needed to know. The sound of water flowing in the bathroom reminded me that I hadn't taken a shower for 2 days. It still felt uncomfortable, even though I'd barely moved. or sweat. I was willing to give up half of my possessions for a hot shower and pay with my future income for a cup of cocoa as a bonus. The little girl was clearly starved and was quietly and happily eating the rice. She paid no attention to me. Her figure looked extra weak and small from here. I still couldn't believe she could be a kidnapper. What kind of family would allow her to do such a thing? Whatever. Considering my own family, I had no right to criticize others. Phew. The girl left the bathroom holding her hair. She only washed her face since there was no hot water. The light shone on her face. Why is it shone on her face? Rendering her pale complexion a little more rosy. Yet the expression on her face was still cold as ice. What are you looking at? She seemingly noticed my gaze and asked me with an eyebrow raised. Nothing, just that I hadn't taken a shower for a while.
You think this is some fancy hotel, rich boy?
I would have called customer service, given such quality. Keep flapping your mouth. I dare you. Never mind. She snorted with contempt, then walked to the window to slightly shake the little girl's shoulder. The little girl had finished her bento and was falling asleep against the wall, despite her best efforts to stay awake. Go to the bed to sleep. Go to the bed to sleep. You'll catch a cold like this. She nodded sleepily and climbed into the bed obediently, not minding all the dust on it. She grabbed the bedsheet and lay down. This is where they live. Maybe she was really tired. It didn't take long for her to fall asleep completely, leaving only the sound of steady breathing in the room. The girl walked to the window, opened her bento, and started to eat it quickly. Oh, thank God she is also eating. Nothing for me? Tormented by the scent of food, I couldn't help but ask. You can just eat the crackers. How about just a cup of coffee? I have money in my bag. Rather than a hot dinner, I preferred some hot coffee to relax my nerves. Sir, caffeine does not relax the nerves. If anything, it frays it further. Trust me, I know. I have a caffeine addiction. You done yet? I had learned that protesting wouldn't help, and now the headache was even more unbearable without he has a caffeine headache. Those suck. Oh my God. It's absolute torture going through a caffeine headache, a caffeine migraine. Sometimes it takes just one day for you. One day you'll have to bear the pain to get over it, but in cases of caffeine addicts like me, it takes more than one day for you to finally be okay with not having it. She looked troubled, and she was just eating absent-mindedly. Okay, I'm starting to lose it a little bit. She kept poking the drumstick for what seemed to be no reason. Please, stop playing with the food, even if you're not in the mood. I can have it if you have no appetite. Hunger plus anger made me give the suggestion. I am thinking about how to keep your mouth shut. I doubt me doing that would solve your problem. though noticing her darkened look, I decided to keep my mouth shut. Piecing all the hints together, along with her reaction, I could only come up with one conclusion. You couldn't reach my dad.
How did you?
You trying to trick me? Realizing she slipped without thinking, her face instantly darkened again. I didn't mean anything by it, I just thought. Fearing she might lose her temper, I immediately tried to pass off the responsibility. However, she stood up suddenly. You looking down on me? Find me easy to fool, huh? She bit her lip, staring at me with utter hatred, voice colder than ever. Not at all, I'm just guessing randomly. There must be something wrong, and I doubt the police have found out this soon. Look, Her reaction far surpassed my expectations. I tried to explain myself, but that didn't stop her from walking towards me. She walked closer and closer with the knife, eyes flashing with hysteria. Was she really going to do this? Now, I was really fearing for my life for the first time ever. She looked like a cornered animal that would try anything in desperation. I'm not struggling. Before she got the money, she wouldn't kill me. If resistance was futile, I decided to close my eyes and grit my teeth, hoping she wouldn't continue further. I smelled a faint scent and felt her hair on my cheek, plus rapid breathing. What's that smell? Unbelievably, at this moment of life or death, I was thinking about something this insignificant. Against my skin was a cold sensation. The blade was right before my chest. A simple push would bury it deep into my flesh. I opened my eyes and saw a look of pure ice right before me. Don't lie to me. The voice next to my ear was light but clear. I will say it one more time. Don't lie to me. If you look down on me, you will regret it. Her voice was calm, and the knife steady. She didn't clarify how she would do it, nor did she ask for my confirmation. Yet this threat was more powerful than anything prior. All my words got stuck in my throat. My body was paralyzed to the point I couldn't even blink. She meant it. I could read the emotion in her eyes. That was pure, murderous intent. No question about it. She would do it again if I did it again. She would do it if I did it again. I'm done with folks like you. Don't think I can't. Worst case scenario, I'll just die with you. No biggie for someone like me. When you're pushed to the brink, to the very end. I guess that becomes an option. Damn it. She finished her sentence, moved the knife away, and walked back to the window. I just lay there on the ground, motionlessly. My tense body was still trembling. At that moment, I confirmed something. They could end me at any time. The notion of her not touching me before getting the money or having some backup plan meant nothing to them. At this point, she had nothing to lose. I took a deep breath as I faced the window. That's how I calmed myself down since childhood. What I needed to do stayed the same. Ah, the pretty music has returned. The desk lamp drew a long shadow from her. What had just occurred still creeped me out a little. However, since she hadn't contacted my family, there was still a chance. I breathed in deeply, gathered the courage and talked to her. I have a proposal. She continued to look out the window motionlessly, showing no interest in my question. Let me go now, and all my money is yours. It might not be much, but 70 to 80,000 NDT in total, and I swear I will tell no one. How much is that? NDT. Wait, okay, I'm looking this up because I'm curious. Yeah, I don't know what oh, new Taiwan dollar. Oh, that is new. And 80,000. Am I typing this correctly? Oh, okay. Alright. That is around 9. No, shit. What am I doing? Oh, wait, just a minute. 80? 1, 2, 3. Oh, so that is $2,500. Yeah, that's right, Stargazer. I was looking at my phone. Oh, wait. Oh. Damn. My husband messaged me at 11:50. I didn't see his message. No. Oh, I feel so bad. I'm doing good. I'm in the middle of a stream. I'm so sorry I didn't see this earlier. I hope. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it is when you what do you say? Yeah, when you make the calculations, it's not that much money actually, which is often the case with countries that don't have enough power against the dollar. Okay, all right. Mints. Dang it. I feel some tap away. Alright. Knowing she might be listening, I kept going on my own, even without a response. You can escort me to the ATM if you want to, or do it in any manner you prefer. You want to keep this on the down low, right? Why so insistent? I used my last bit of strength to convince her. Considering her position, I tried to propose something that would be mutually beneficial. I believed no one would risk his or her life until there was no other choice. Now is still not too late. Think about it. The wait was so long, I I thought there was no response, but she finally turned her head. There was no rage in her eyes, only exhaustion. Why should I believe you? Why should I believe that you will hand me the money and never call the cops? I couldn't even answer out of hesitation. It was hard to create a situation where both sides could trust each other in the first place. I wouldn't agree to such terms if the roles were reversed. I would be the one in control once I got my freedom. She wouldn't be able to do anything to stop me from calling the cops. No answer? Then shut the fuck up and stop wasting my time. Rather than handing her fate to me, she'd rather believe in herself. All my gathered confidence grew fainter and fainter, and I was out of ideas temporarily. But if this kept going on, then what can I do to win your trust? I asked with my last ounce of courage. Matching her stare, I could see the fragility under her cold look. She grew silent and started to ponder my question. Then a bitter smile appeared on her face. I don't know. She turned to the window and quietly said it again. I don't know. The mood is heavy. I must do something. Alright, so we tried chatting. I think we need to rest to gather our strengths. Like, let's see how much strength. Okay, we have some stamina. We're not that bad. And with Maiden, still don't know what her last name is. She seemed close to the little girl. What is their relationship? Alright. I'm gonna try and observe something over here. Because I've not been able to observe anything else this whole time. Maybe the clock? I want to know what time it is. A closer look reveals that the clock is not even... Okay, good to know. So, all my time estimates are pointless now. Who knows how much time has passed? Even though I don't know the time, at least I'm not misguided by the wrong information. That is true. That is true. I'm gonna return. Let me chat with someone. The older girl. What do you want? Do you really think you can get out of this unscathed? How much does she know about the kidnapping? What is your relationship? Is this really necessary? How much does she know about the kidnapping? Maybe. How much does she truly know? See, I feel like what do you want is such a stupid question again, because it's obvious she wants money. She needs money. But this will antagonize her. She doesn't want to talk about her relationship with her sister. I don't think so. How much does she know about the kidnapping? Maybe we can get something out of her with that. But what do you want, I think, is arbitrary at this point. So I'm going to go with this one. I'm taking a risk. I'm taking a risk. How much does she know about the kidnapping? I asked her about the little girl, hoping to learn a little more information. Huh? It's none of your business. Predictable. She changed subject non-committally, but then after a while followed up with, she has nothing to do with this. I forced her to help. Oh. Okay. I was surprised by that answer. I thought she would just push the responsibility on her. Yet now it sounded like she was protecting her. What an interesting relationship. She seems to really trust you. She stared at me, biting her lips. but her internal turmoil was clear. She knows nothing. The little girl curled up in the bed, holding the bedsheet tightly. She didn't seem to be at peace, even at night. The girl sighed lightly and then turned to me to emphasize her point again. I forced her here, and it was all my idea. My decision. She repeated herself, as though scared of involving the little girl. I got it. I replied, perfunctorily, knowing that wasn't the truth. There was no way for her to be disobedient if she was forced, let alone defending her big sister. The mood is heavy. I must try something. What shall I try? Should I rest? Like, how much do I have? Stamina? Not that much. Clock on the wall had stopped. I'd have to figure out the time on my own. Alrighty. Good to know. I don't know. I have a feeling... maybe... I can't go anywhere. Oh! What is that? Oh, there. I can look at specific things. That's the bento box. That's the cigarettes. Her phone. Ooh. I'm gonna look at the Nokia phone. Only soldiers or some tech manufacturers still use this kind of antique cell phone. Even old people use smartphones these days. Okay, so this is relatively modern time, relatively recent modern times. It's not like everyone is using Nokia phones these days, like the brick Nokia phones. Old phones can't connect to the internet or leave a traceable GPS signal. You can only track location through a phone call. Is that why she uses it? You have quite an antique phone. It's usable, and I don't need all those fancy features on those other phones anyway. And they're expensive as hell. Well, the manufacturers don't need to make money with new products, and the technology is advancing, so... Well, the manufacturers need to make money with new products, and and how many of those do you really need? She coldly interrupted me. Some don't even have a phone, while others waste their lives to build all these fancy gimmicks. Just like some people are starving, while others are picky with their food and call themselves food critics. The near future. I really find people like you disgusting. So be it. Feeling the deep-rooted hatred in her look, I nonchalantly shrugged. Those things existed before, exist now, and will continue to exist in the future. We don't choose which part of the world we were born in. We can only struggle in this world with the pre-established rules. This is a depressing story, guys. This is a depresso story. Protagonist, I don't think she cares about the economy. Yep. She does not give a shit about that. She's just looking for her next meal and is looking out for her little sister and trying to not get into any more debt than her parents have already gotten her into. That is the only bit of information we've gotten from her. We've got some of her name and some of her past. Whatever we can glean from it, at least. It was getting late, and I still couldn't find a way to change the situation. Instead of escaping or waiting for the ransom, the safest option was to convince her to let me go. Things could still get resolved without much incident. It wouldn't be this easy once the police get involved. But how? Even though I could tell she had hesitated, I couldn't win her trust. So I had to win her trust first? Oh, damn it, that scared me. The sudden vibration broke the silence. She looked at the phone screen and then jolted a little as though being electrocuted. She lowered her eyes and read the message. She raised the corner of her mouth, but didn't appear to be that happy. What is it? I had a bad feeling and instantly asked. There will be a call in 10 minutes. Tell your dad to pay up if you want to go home. The unexpected change of events instantly froze my blood. This was way too soon. I was naive to think I still had time to convince her. What? What do you mean? Isn't this a good thing? The moment she reached my family, there was no turning back. Wait. The police would start taking action, the family preparing the ransom, and the culprit preparing the escape. Oh, she's gonna stab him. What now? What now? I quickly went through all the possibilities in my mind, but couldn't come up with a single solution. I must not stop thinking. There must be a way. Time passed, second by second, and I had no time to hesitate. It's the money you want, right? Is there really no other way? Out of options, I gave it my all and just yelled at her. Not giving her a chance to contemplate, I continued after a quick pause. Let me go, and you can have all the money as proof as my silence about this. Think about it. You really think you can get the money this easily? Are you okay with playing hide and seek for the rest of your life? I couldn't finish my words. Seeing her expression, I realized that was it. Under the night sky, the nightlight, she looked almost like a dream, too empty and transparent to be touched. That smile couldn't hide the helplessness and regret in her eyes. Silence and immense sadness. There's no turning back. Her voice was calm, surprisingly. This is such a pretty CG. She's so beautiful. And she does not look 30 at all, not even close. There was no anger or accusation, only concession in that expression. She surrendered to her hopeless life. Nothing was more convincing than that expression. So even she could express such hopelessness. There has been no turning back since a long time ago. The phone vibrated again. Seeing her pick up the phone, I couldn't say anything. I should have known. The moment the phone rang, nay, from the very beginning, she had no other choice but this. Under the serene moonlight, the cogwheel started to spin faster. The girl opened the phone. The screen flashed to the time, 3 a.m. There was only steady breathing in the room. The boy couldn't resist the desire to sleep after all. It's the money you want, right? Is there really no other way? Remembering his words, the determination in his eyes surpassed her expectations. Perhaps he wasn't as useless as she thought. There was no regret in her decision, only a vague note of ironic sadness. Never until this moment had anyone cared what she wanted, trying to convince her not to break the law. No more, one should take responsibility for one's life, or don't keep asking someone to help you. There was no return. Either way, she would get the money and pay the debt, or get arrested instead. The girl raised her head and looked into the starry sky, standing next to the window like a statue. The stars sparkled like her unsettled mind. Finally, she breathed out quietly. Worst case scenario, I would just die with him. The quiet voice of the girl evaporated in the room along with the cigarette smoke. Day 3. Gap between us. And this is where our story pauses for the day, or in my case, for the night. Thank you everyone who has come to my stream. It has been 3 hours and 5 minutes since we started. This has been a journey. This has been a tense story. It was all hee hee ha ha when I posted my tweets, being like, "Oh my god, I'm kidnapped on Friday the 13th." By the way, it's Friday the 13th where I am right now. It's past midnight. It's in fact 3 a.m. And as we can see, all is not what it seems. And I'm so curious to know more. How on earth am I gonna find out more without getting myself killed or something? We have our pirate girl who has a knife who could stab us violently, and we have our tiny unhinged girl where if we try to question her older sister, she's ready to stab me as well. So I'm screwed both ends. Do you have a second channel? Yes, actually, I do have a second channel where I will be posting. I'll be editing a few parts out, maybe. Not throughout the stream, just like throughout maybe the beginning of the stream. I'm wondering if I should also edit out a bit of the banter that we have, but I think the banter is actually kind of fun, so I'll let that stay. But yes, I will be. I didn't link it in my socials yet, but I do have a second YouTube channel. I will post it in a pinned tweet. That'll come soon after I end the stream. So look out for that. And yes, I will continue the story because I am in a very good spooky feeling, although this is less spooky and more depressing, which still I think is appropriate for the season. So I think I'll stream this, if not tomorrow, then day after. But I think I will stream this tomorrow, maybe around the same time, maybe around earlier. Okay, it is the Friday the 13th where you are. All right, fantastic. I'm glad that I'm not the only one with the best data number. Yes, depressed vibes indeed. I do have a question. Is this time good for most of y'all? Does this work, or would it have been better if I start streaming maybe earlier than this or later than this? Yes, it is still the 12th for you, Stargazer. I did check that when I was trying to set up a stream time for this. All right, let's go into just chatting. There we go. Let's have this beautiful music in the background as we chat for a little bit. Yeah. So, guys, friends, what did we think? What did we think of... Wait, what the heck is... A Light in the Darkness. I almost forgot the title of this game. What do we think of Light in the Darkness so far? Earlier is better than me, but you do you. Early is better for me. Okay, I'm glad to know that early is better for you both, because it honestly would have been... It's better for me as well. So I shall do that from now on. Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you'll watch the VOD. That makes me so happy. Kind of scared these kinds of tense thriller stories. Yeah, this is the sort of story that makes me want to know more about our two leading ladies and their story. And I'm not that intrigued by the protagonist's story, mostly because it's a tale as old as time, especially when you read so many webtoons and watch so much K-dramas. You kind of get the gist of it. But the two girls, I want to know more about them. And I think they have so much more to tell, except I'm finding it near impossible to choose the right options. I keep stepping on landmines, as Abby stated earlier. I shouldn't have asked about this sister. I just should have said whatever, but I felt like whatever was too flippant, and I was like, no, sister. Oh, damn it. I feel so mad with myself. And I'm so curious now, how would those other options play out instead of what I chose? I'm like, this is my problem with games that give you a choice. Alright, it's bad enough that I have a choice to make in the first place. I'm very much the sort of person who saves scums and tries to make the perfect choice. But you can't do that. And I think I've learned, I feel like my playstyle with games is very much reflected in how I see life today. Rena really going, this is a cookie cutter protagonist. We're gonna hit road bumps. Yes, we are. Indeed we are. I was reading a kung fu book and it turned into such a story. Aw, that's nice. I'm not much for action myself, but there are exceptions. Especially if the story is good, then yeah, that just gets me hooked. But free will, yada yada yada. I also save scum at times. Except, okay, yes, free. Oh my god, I keep moving this mic. Yes, free will, indeed, free will and save scumming. But so I treat these games where you choose your adventure essentially, and I tend to, because in life I don't want to make the wrong choice. In game, it's reflected in how I play my games, especially games where you have choices to make. And in the past, I used to save scum to hell and above, to hell and beyond even. And I would do nothing. I would stop at nothing until I got the best end. Or I would look up a playthrough and then just use that. And what does that result in? A very unenjoyable game. Yeah. So now these days in life, I feel way more accepting that there are things in life that you just cannot change. You make your choices, and whilst there's always a what if, had you chosen the other choice, you've already committed to this other one. And that is it, and you just move on from there. And I think that is now finally reflected in not only the games I play, but in my gameplay just generally. Because I found myself now often, like when I play visual games and I'm not streaming it, I find myself just going with the story. Even if I made a mistake, or I made a choice that didn't result well, I try to stick with that decision from now on. I was like, oh boy, a swashbuckling adventure with kung fu, but it turned into a tense situation with the mob sieging the outside of Protag's house. Man, what story is this? Wu Wei? Wu Wei. What is that? Let me try this out. If I type it onto my laptop, like my mic, it is the HyperX, and it is so sensitive. I think it's called the Solocast HyperX. It's so sensitive, it picks everything up, even like when the mic itself wobbles. Although I think maybe most mics do that. I need a better. Excuse me. I need a better mic setup. Wu Wei. Then okay, what is Wu Wei? But what is the name of this? It's Dragons and Boxers. Is that a webtoon? Or is that a book? Because that sounds good. That sounds interesting. Wu Wei is from Taoist. Oh, it's from Taoism. Is that pertaining to sometimes? Is that pertaining to choices that you make and just accepting and living with those choices? I'm curious. Let me search it up. Wu Wei. Wu Wei means non-doing or doing nothing. It sounds like a pleasant invitation to relax, or worse, fall into laziness or apathy. Yet this concept is key to the noblest kind of action according to the philosophy of Taoism, and is at the heart of what it means to follow Tao or the way. Wu Wei, or the art of effortless action. Interesting. So the lack of a decision is a decision itself. We even knew about this. But that could either be a relaxing or a freeing decision or a way of life even, or you succumb to laziness and apathy. Personally, I have fallen into the latter category in the past, trying not to go back there again. He has a saying where the best thing to do is to not take credit for things. I think in a broader aspect, that may be true. And I think especially for when you do a good deed, when you're doing something good, something kind, it is better to not talk about it. In my religion, I don't like talking about a religion, but there's a saying that I really, really, really like, and I didn't understand it for the longest freaking time, but then one day it finally hit me. And the saying goes, when you do something good, when you do something good and you carry it out with your right hand, you must make sure that your left hand does not know the good that the right hand is doing. I feel like I said it in a very roundabout way, but basically, if you give charity with your right hand, make sure that your left hand doesn't know it. In other words, don't tell the whole world and don't tell people that you're doing something good. Don't boast about it. Don't talk about it. Don't bring it to people's attention. And at first I didn't really understand why that such a saying was even there in the first place. And then, obviously life growing up does its thing, and you learn that the consequences that come from that are mind-bogglingly worse than you could ever think until it's finally happened to you. Yes, please do, Stargazer. I would love to hear the Wu Wei saying. But yeah, it's I believe that if you tell people that you are doing so much of good, I think that automatically gets doubted. Not by everyone, but I think there's a vocal minority, or just people doubting that the good that you do in this world is either real or done with actual good intention, because not a whole lot of people actually do things with good intention, as we can see in the world today. It's just oh my god, I do not want to get into heavy topics. This was such a heavy game, so it leads to so much heaviness and deeper topics out of it. That kind of mood it makes you think. It makes you think, and it makes you reflect on a lot of things that have gone on in your life or is happening currently in the world. And I think right now more than ever, just showing how good you are does more harm than good, actually. If you do good, let that be something that is discovered by others, not you bringing attention to it, because people are more likely to believe that you do good because they discovered themselves and you are not making a show of it. Which is why I can't help but suspend my disbelief when a lot of people, like famous people, say, I have contributed to so and so charity, which is already good. That very well may be true. At the end of the day, a charity is getting the funding that they needed, which is great. But the person who's doing it, it's kind of like setting off a trend, a chain reaction, where other people who are also in power, have a lot of money, will do the exact same thing to get a better rep. However, that's not necessarily true. That rep could be fake. I don't know, guys. I think I'm just rambling at this point. Alrighty. I need to reread the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching. What is the Tao Te Ching? Tao Te... Is that the book. The Tao Te Ching is a Chinese classic text and foundational work of Taoism, written around 400 BC and traditionally credited to the sage Lao Tzu. Though the text's authorship, date of composition and date of compilation are debated. I see. Lao Tzu. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. Not so good when people obey him and acclaim him. Worse when they despise him. But a good leader who talks little, when his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they say, we did it ourselves. Lao Tzu, like Sun Tzu. Tzu is like master. Like Sun Tzu. Tzu is like master. Are you translating it? Abby? Abby, do you speak Cantonese or Mandarin? Okay. I don't know, I'm a little confused. Please do explain to me. But Stargazer, I really like that quote. I'm going to use that. Actually, in fact, I want to write that, maybe implement it into an art piece or something, so I can always remember it. Because even though it kind of sucks when it may suck being a leader and having to do all the hard work and having other people like subordinates or your people in a country basically be like, yes, we did it, we are the reason why there's prosperity, why the economy is flourishing, etc., etc., etc. But in fact, it was actually the ruler and their smart thinking who did it. But that often leads to a better just general state of mind in the country. Although I don't think it lasts long. It doesn't last very long when there is peace in the world. But such is life. Just as there is good, there is evil, and just as there is evil, there is good. So, I believe the world just moves like a pendulum. Right now, I feel like it's in a very messed up, confused state. I'm kind of just waiting for the pendulum to start swinging in the other direction, because it's quite depressing, the state of the world. No, English only and small child Japanese. Well, at least your Japanese is small child Japanese. My Japanese is broken small child Japanese. I could learn how to at least talk like small child Japanese. I would like to be better. I think some pronounce him Lao Tzu. Okay. Yeah, of course I liked it. Like, if you have any more quotes or anything that stands out from Taoism, happy to learn. I'm genuinely interested in Taoism as a concept to learn more about it. First time I ever heard of it was actually through, surprise, a comic called No Need for Bushido. It wasn't life-changing, but I think the art style was life-changing for me, for my art style, because that's when I realized, damn, I want to draw like that. And not in the beginning of the comic, but like much later on when the art starts to improve and evolve into what it is today. And it's a finished comic too, so like it's, from what I remember, it's hilarious. It's a comedy comic, but it has its serious moments, and I loved it. Oh my god, it was so funny. I wouldn't mind rereading that, actually. Yes, I'm asking you, Stargazer, if you have any more interesting Taoism tidbits or quotes, I'd love to hear it. I don't know, a neat person in their office. I don't know the exact chapter. All right. The quote, where is it? Okay. Silver! Hello! Welcome! I'm happy to see you here. It's nice to have you. Broken small child Japanese for the win. I can say things and not know what I'm saying, kana, and I can read things and not know what it is spoken, kanji. Next one. Abby. Once I dreamt I was a butterfly flying hither and thither. Not hat I wake. I'm unsure if I am a man dreaming he was a butterfly or a butterfly dreaming he is a man. Ooh, deep. That's a deep one. I don't know either. IDK man. That quote is wrong, but 60%. Yeah, fair enough. I got the message across. The deepness was felt. But jokes aside, you don't know. Sometimes you don't know whether you are one thing or the other. Like, have any of you ever felt in the past, or maybe even today, to right now, you strongly believe that you are, I don't know, let's go with intelligence. You strongly believe that you are an intelligent person, and that you know a lot of things, and you have an aptitude for learning and academics, etc., etc. But maybe one day you've got this situation, and it's the kind of situation where you got the answer easy peasy. You tell everybody, and everyone's like, oh yes, amazing. But then there's that one person who's just quiet, and then they said, wait a minute, no, this doesn't make sense. And in fact, they take your answer, put it on its head, and then suddenly you look like the fool, because what you initially thought, in fact, it was something that was taken at face value. It was a judgment based. It was judgment based on face value, whereas the other person who took the time to reassess the situation at hand, they thought deeper, layers that only they could understand maybe, and then they said their answer. And then the person who thought that they were very intelligent was like, oh, am I not that intelligent? Am I not the bee's knees? Am I lacking in some way in my intelligence? Maybe emotional intelligence, I don't know. But does that count? It made sense in my mind. So tell me. Hello, sorry I missed it. No worries, Silver. I will be posting it on my YouTube channel. In fact, since I am in just chatting mode, I can go to my YouTube channel and look at it. Okay, so it is called Love Rena. tea. I know this shakes my mic quite a lot, but I need you guys to be patient. Which you are. You very much are. And here we go, guys. This is my YouTube channel, my side YouTube channel, where you can stay up to date with my VODs. I've already posted something over there. It's from today. I was just checking my mic settings and I was playing a game. I was playing Monster Road Trip. Such a fun game. I got so into it. You can hear all about it. Yeah, enjoy. Okay. Zhuangxi. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. Agreed. Self-discipline. I'm still working on it. Now you're looking up stuff. That's okay. That's all right. Still cool. Still interesting stuff. Create a sound in the east. Attack in the west. Ooh, stealthy. Stealthy Abby. That sounds like Sun Tzu, the war dude. It's 36 stratagems. I think there's always more ways to learn. I forget so much too. I think it's just age. There's a point in time where your brain is just capped and it cannot learn anymore, and in order to learn more, it kind of deletes old information, useless information from your brain's, your subconsciousness's point of view. That's a mouthful. Too many S's. Thank you for the subscribe. Thank you very much. And hey, if we're on the topic of subscribing to YouTube channels, if you don't want to see a cute VTuber anime girl, and instead you want to see a flesh tuber, aka a YouTuber that makes content in person, I have a fashion channel. I have a fashion channel. If you're interested, let me know. But I have a fashion channel that I have a lot of fun with. The channel name is Aphrodita. So you get to see what I look like and some other things, but I just talk about fashion over there. And trust me guys, I will do a men's series one day using my husband as the mannequin. He is reluctant, but I know I can convince him. And that man, I can dress him up in so many ways, and it'll be so much fun. Yay. Thank you, Stargazer, for the subscribe. So see that you're styling and profiling in your face. Yes. Actually, it's funny you say that, Stargazer, because in the next video, my husband does make a little bit of an appearance. It's a spoiler, but yes, he does show himself a little bit this time. It's quite cute. And for those, oh wait, no, that's the wrong link. There we go. Control She. Okay, I've got to move my mic a little bit. Sorry about this. This is gonna make some noise. Even the slightest movement of this mic is just too much of noise.
You sound right off.
Ah! What the heck? Control V. Yeah, there we go. That's my real YouTube channel, if anyone's interested. All right, guys. I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I had so much freaking fun. This was awesome. I'm gonna do this again tomorrow, much earlier though. I am going to pick someone to raid in the meantime, and please don't leave just yet. Can we please do a raid so I can raid? I just want to raid someone, and then you can leave, of course, but
I'd like to raid someone. There are 2 people I'm looking at, and specifically one. I want to do this raid, and I think it'll be really good. She's another VTuber. Her name is Visteria, and I've actually liked her content for a while, but I haven't really, spoken too much to her or at all. I'm kind of just like a fan from afar, so I'm gonna do a little raiding. Yeah. So I'll speak to you guys next time, and I can't wait for us to revisit and continue the story of A Light in the Darkness.